Welcome friends. This is a short video on lymphatic system. We'll start with this picture. Can you relate this with the lymphatic system? Yes, this is a one-way board. Similarly, lymph fluid will also flow in one direction. It flows upwards towards the neck. It is not like blood, in which the circulatory system allows it to flow through the body in a continuous loop. Here is another picture where you can see P. Yes, normally lymph node is about the size of a pea. It is usually less than half inch or 12 millimeter. Objectives. In this video, we will learn about formation of lymph, factors influencing lymph flow, functions of lymphatic system. Formation of lymph. Lymph is derived from interstitial fluid that flows into lymphatics. We need to know what is interstitial fluid. It is the main component of extracellular fluid that surrounds the cells in the body. So, it has the same composition as interstitial fluid. The average protein concentration is 2 gram per deciliter. But in thoracic duct, it is 3 to 5 gram per deciliter. This is because thoracic duct, the lymph, is derived from the liver and intestine, and the protein concentration of the lymph in liver and intestine is usually high. Therefore, the thoracic duct, the protein concentration of the lymph fluid averages up to 3 to 5 gram per deciliter. The lymphatic system is also one of the major routes for absorption of nutrients from the GIT, especially for the absorption of fats. Therefore, in fatty meal, thoracic duct contains 1 to 2% of fat. Rate of lymph flow. The normal rate of lymph flow is 120 milliliter per hour or 2 to 3 liters per day. Factors affecting the rate of lymph flow is interstitial fluid pressure and lymphatic pump. We'll see one by one. Interstitial fluid pressure. This graph defines the relationship between the interstitial fluid pressure and the lymph flow. So, as the pressure increases, the relative lymph flow also increases. When the pressure is 0, you can see that the lymph flow actually increases more than 20-fold. So we can blindly state that increase in interstitial fluid pressure increases the lymph flow. Here we need to know what is maximum lymph flow rate. Lymph flow rate achieves a maximum at 1 to 2 millimeter mercury of interstitial pressure. At this pressure, the increased entry of fluid into the lymphatic capillaries is opposed by the interstitial compression of the outside surfaces of the larger lymphatics and therefore impeding the lymph flow. Therefore, it saturates at this level. Factors increasing the interstitial fluid pressure. Increased hydrostatic pressure, which favors filtration. Decreased plasma colloid osmotic pressure. Increased interstitial fluid colloid osmotic pressure and increased permeability of the capillaries. Ultimately, this would lead to increase in the lymph flow rate. Lymphatic pump. We all know that lymph flows in only one single direction. This is due to the presence of valves. Valves exist in all lymphatic channels. This is a collecting lymphatic channel. When this is filled with lymph fluid, the smooth muscle in the wall of the vessels contracts and automatically the segment is contracted and pushes the fluid into the next consecutive segment. And this process is continued all along the lymph vessels until the fluid is finally emptied into the blood circulation. The lymphatic capillaries are tightly adhered to the tissue cells through the anchor filaments. So, when the tissue cells are swelled up with tissue fluid, the capillaries are pulled between the junctions of the endothelial cells with the help of anchor filaments, and the lymph flows into the terminal lymphatic capillaries. We have seen about the intrinsic contraction of the lymph vessel wall and its pumping. Now we will see about the pumping by the external compression. It is done by the skeletal muscle pump, movements of parts of the body, pulsation of arteries, and compression of tissues by the objects outside the body. Functions of lymphatic system. It serves as a route of absorption of nutrients. It plays a role in immunity, regulation of interstitial fluid protein concentration, regulation of interstitial fluid volume, and regulation of interstitial fluid pressure. The lymphatic system functions as an overflow mechanism to return excess proteins and excess fluid volume from the tissue spaces to the circulation. So, what is the significance of negative interstitial fluid pressure? The different tissues of the body are held together by the connective tissue fibers. But at some places, like the skin over the back of the hand or over the face, the connective tissue fibers are very weak. But even at these places, the tissues are held together by the negative interstitial fluid pressure, which is actually a partial vacuum. So, when the tissues loses their negative pressure, fluid accumulates and it results in edema. Lymphedema. So, what is lymphedema? It is the collection of lymph in the interstitial tissues following the blockage of lymphatics. So friends, in this video, we have learnt about the formation of lymph, factors influencing lymph flow, and functions of lymphatic system. Thanks for watching, friends.